If there's one thing most Americans take for granted, it's water. It covers more than 2/3 of the earth, but did you know less than 1% of it is usable? People can survive only about 3 days without water. Yet in 15 years, nearly 2 billion people around the world will be living in areas where it's scarce. Even in this country, sources of water are drying up. And in some places, Mark Strassman tells us they're already fighting over it, as CBS reports where America stands.
Americans are the world's biggest water consumers. By 9 a.m., after showering, using the bathroom, brushing our teeth, and having a cup of coffee, each of us typically has used more than 30 gallons of water. After doing the dishes, running the washing machine, and watering the lawn, by the time we go to bed, we've used up to 150 gallons. By comparison, people in the UK use a quarter of that, 40 gallons of water a day. The Chinese average just 22 gallons per day. And in the poorest countries, like Kenya, people use less than the minimum 13 gallons to cover basic needs. Because Americans use so much, the report card shows water is an emerging crisis here.
Partly rightfully so.
Steve Solomon is the author of the new book, Water.
Water is overtaking oil as our scarcest natural resource in the world, and even we're going to find it in the United States as well.
Scientists have never measured the exact amount of water available in the U.S., but they're concerned enough that they've just launched a new government study to find out. Experts do agree demand is greater than supply, and 36 U.S. states face water shortages in the next 3 years. Every day, Arizona and parts of New Mexico use 300 million gallons more than they get in renewable supply. The extra comes from underground supplies, which are not renewable. How much water's underground and when could it run out? No one knows. And clearly that's a problem. Nowhere is America's water crisis more evident than Lake Mead, just outside Las Vegas. The city has 2 million thirsty people and gets 90% of its drinking water from the lake. This area has grappled with a decade of drought. All last year it rained 2 inches, half its normal total.
If you stripped it all away.
Pat Mulroy heads the Southern Nevada Water Authority.
As the driest city in the United States, it is definitely at the crisis level.
When full, Lake Mead could cover all of Pennsylvania under a foot of water. But since 1998, the lake's capacity has plunged more than half, down 5.6 trillion gallons, enough to supply the entire United States for about 6 months. See that white band on the canyon walls? Locals call it the bathtub ring. It's mineral residue left behind by Lake Mead's sinking water, and it's more than 130 feet high all around the lake. A reminder to everyone here how deep their water problem really is.
Who would ever thought that it would go down this slow?
Gail Kaiser's family has owned a marina here since 1957. But in 2002, water levels were so low, the marina's docks were landlocked.
It was a wake-up call because, you know, we've been here for a long time and you don't think those things are going to happen.
Kaiser showed me their old, original water line.
The old one is up by the green tank right up here.
This green tank, 1,000 feet from the water's new edge.
If you look at your navigational GPS in your car, you're standing in the water.
Since then, they've moved 15 more times, and later this month, the marina will have to move again. 4 miles from the marina, the Hoover Dam supplies hydroelectric power to 2 million homes and businesses in Nevada, Arizona, and California. But without enough water pressure from the lake, these massive generator units will stop turning. As manager here, Ken Rice checks the lake's level every day. There's a point below which the lake cannot go.
From a power generation standpoint, our main concern would be about an elevation 1050.
The lake's elevation has plunged to 1,095 feet, just 45 feet above the point that worries Rice.
What do we do then? What do we do?
America needs solutions to its water worries. Las Vegas has aggressive water conservation program. 70% of this desert community's water use is outdoors. So the local water authority pays homeowners to rip out their lawn, and replace it with desert-friendly landscaping.
Well, that was a huge cultural change.
Well, they actually had water flowing off of their property.
Las Vegas has also hired water police to patrol and issue fines to water violators. And on the Strip, City Center is the new jewel. $8 billion of environmentally friendly luxury, including low-flow water fixtures, slashing water use more than 100 million gallons a year. And the city's efforts seem to be paying off. From 2002 to 2008, the city boomed. 400,000 more people moved in. But water consumption dropped by 20 billion gallons. Other regions are trying other solutions. Coastal states have built more than 200 desalination plants. By next year, San Diego's new one could convert 50 million gallons of ocean water a day into drinking water. 8 states surrounding the Great Lakes are trying to hold on to what they have. They've signed a pact banning the export of water to outsiders, even other U.S. states.
They're trying to hold on to their water, which they see as rightfully see as a competitive advantage.
Smart or greedy?
Both.
But water experts agree. Conservation is America's best hope.
Everyone has a piece of the responsibility. It is our individual behaviors.
Behaviors now starting to change, slowly, as Americans learn the real worth of water. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Las Vegas.
To learn more about where water is in short supply, you can go to cbsnews.com, where you can also let us know what you think about the issues we've been covering. Meanwhile, next week, where America stands on terrorism. Where are the next militants training, and are we prepared to deal with them? Plus, the war on cancer. How far have we come in research, treatment, and care? And on Tuesday, how will America cope with the growing wave of Alzheimer's patients? And how close is a cure?
What's your hope for this new drug?
I'd like to get some of my function back and go back to work.